And we're live. And we're live. Hello, thank you for tuning in. This is the episode 4, season 2 of Killing Eve. And last episode left off with Villanelle becoming freelance with Constantine. And we pick up this episode with them having set a base in Amsterdam, Holland, the Netherlands, where the two are being paid handsomely to take out some sleazy individuals. More importantly, Villanelle now has carte blanche to be as loud and extravagant as she wants to be when making her kills and committing all of them. Brilliant. Have some fun and show Eve Pilastri what she is missing by focusing on that boring ghost woman. On the bad side, Villanelle seems to be bored out of her skull in Amsterdam, spending her days pouting in her luxurious new digs and being dragged around art museums by Constantine. However, she does perk up when she discovers a 17th century painting by artist Jan de Been, The Corpses of the DeWitt Brothers, a work that depicts the gruesome, flayed bodies of two men who were assassinated by their political opponents. Villanelle likes the artwork so much that later in the episode she sends a postcard of it to Eve, who doesn't receive it as it's been intercepted by Carolyn. Carolyn would probably say that she was doing it for Eve's protection, but I read it as Carolyn punching Eve for her mistakes with Constantine last week. The most effective way to do that would be to keep her on the ghost case or doing anything that isn't really involved with Villanelle or even fantasizing about her. For the most part, it's true, despite her ongoing problems with her husband Nico, which I covered in depth and shouted loud angry noises about it last week, they have another tiresome spat, but it's only one scene and it's quite alright this week, only just one little scene, it's okay. And a strange interlude in which she comes this close to making out with one of her new co-workers. Eve makes progress in her hunt for the ghost. And running tests on one of the victims, she figures out that their target must have some medical background. Eve's dull investigation is a stark contrast to Villanelle's very loud, very visual murder in Amsterdam. However, Constantine said she could have fun, and she's going to have fun. She targets a really sleazy guy in Amsterdam's red light district and murders him with a crowd of onlookers watching on, well dressed in what looks to be a fully schoolgirl outfit with a pig mask. Now, I've got to say, this gave me a bizarre nightmare flashback to the David Cameron pig incident. If you don't know what that is, Google it. If you do know what that is, have a visual image in your head and just cringe. She then proceeds to get him as the tourists gasp and admire how realistic it all is, and arranges his body to match the de Been painting she saw earlier in the episode. Villanelle then loses her crap big time when she finds out that Eve isn't coming to Amsterdam to admire her handiwork and that MI6 has sent Jess instead. She goes on a bender, popping pills in an underground nightclub and nearly murdering a woman who cuts in front of her in the queue to the toilet. She deserved that. This is an insane sequence to watch, as it's not just because it's shot in a way that mimics a paralytic state of mind. It's because we've never seen Villanelle truly out of her skull, out of her mind, taking drugs, attacking strangers in blind rage. Luckily, she's rescued by Constantine, and she wakes up the next morning in her own vomit, breaking down in tears, which feels like it's Villanelle's equivalent of not being texted back by her partner. We've seen her in vulnerable states as recently as 2 episodes ago, but this is the first time we've seen her in a complete mess. And if she can't get it together, what's Constantine gonna do? More than likely quietly kill her and get rid of the body if she becomes too much trouble. On the other side of things, Eve tracks down and arrests the ghost by the end of the episode. And in these scenes, Eve looks so disappointed that the ghost isn't Villanelle. And even the scene when Eve catches the ghost it's played in a way where the ghost looks like this is a big deal for the ghost, and Eve looks like she'd rather be in a room fantasizing about Villanelle, which is a brave decision to make by the production team. And we then end on a scene where Eve is preparing herself to interview the serial killer, with Carolyn watching in the one-way mirror. And Eve just looks so disinterested that she's having to focus on the ghost with Villanelle's out there. And it's a bit worrying. It's worrying for Carolyn as she watches on, and the viewers a bit worried as well. And what with the disinterest in her husband, the disinterest in the case, it looks like Eve is moving into further dark waters. I'll say this, the cliffhanger was torture. Please don't do that to us, BBC. We've got to wait a week for this. Or we could go on iPlayer, but some of us have OCD and can't do that. And we're back to 10 out of 10 stuff. This was brilliant. This was a brilliant episode, and I can't recommend it enough. I will be recommending it. It was brilliant. More like this. And like I say, I still don't know where we're going, but I've got the creeps. I'm feeling a bit, not overwhelmed, but I'm feeling uncomfortable watching this, and this is what I want. This is really, really good stuff. Villanelle was back to her bonkers, insane best, and Eve looks like she's going down a darker route, becoming more and more obsessed with Villanelle, despite the fact that she's working on the ghost case. And I'm enjoying the series again after a bit of a struggling week last week. Back to 10 out of 10 stuff. Highly recommend it. I want more. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.